Hello everyone. In this video, let's see how to create monthly attendance tracker with shift allowance, resource availability and unplanned leave. This tracker is absolutely free and if you're interested, you can download from the link provided in the description below. So we have three sheets. One is a summary, which summarize all the data and which gives in table format what is the each team member, which shift they are working, how many days they worked, was there planned leave, anything unplanned leave, how many holidays was there in a month, was there how many weekends, was there any absconding in between. For example, in this demo, I have one person who is absconded for 18 days for this specific month and is there any team member who left during the month? So again, we have one example where team member left for means like he left the organization for 9 days. And then we have the shift allowance, like how to calculate the shift allowance based on the different shift. So we have the detailed calculation. Then we have the resource availability percentage, like what is the total resource availability during the month, and then we have the planned leave, sorry, unplanned leave. Obviously, it's very important to understand or to calculate the unplanned leave because this will have direct impact on your day-to-day operation. So then we have the detail file here, which we need to update on a daily basis, like who is working in which shift, was there any leave taken, all the details. And then we have the input file, which is input for updating the detail file for the drop downs. So let's understand in detail how this entire attendance tracker is created. Let me create a new sheet and then prepare this entire attendance tracker. For this, I press Ctrl N to get the new Excel tracker. So first have this input updated. I will explain what is this input. Let me take this and paste it here. And again, let me copy paste entire thing and then explain each one. Okay, so then I rename this as a input file. Okay, now the first one is the month. Like for example, if I go back to the tracker, you can see here in the drop down you have the month like 0 to 12. Likewise, you have the year starting from 2023 until 2034. So now what is the importance is, like for example, now you can observe here, if I make the changes in the month, for example, let me from 01, if I make the changes as a month, you can see the entire attendance tracker is updated in terms of like what is weekend and with the formatting everything. So that is the reason we have this months, and then we have the year. Again, you can have it on your own, like you want to have it only for 2 3 years, you can keep it. And I have kept it for 12 months, 12 years, because to get the consistent, like we, since we also have 12 months here. And then we have the shift data, like morning shift, afternoon shift. And morning shift means like team members who work from 6 a.m. until 3 p.m. Afternoon shift is 12 to 9. Evening is 5 to early morning 2 a.m. And then we have night shift, which is like, so in fact, I need to make changes here as instead of 19, it should be 21. And then we have planned leave, unplanned leave, holiday, weekend, absconding, and exit. So absconding means in case if someone left the organization in between. Exit means like the team member has left the organization. Then we have this short abbreviation for this. For example, morning shift is written as MS, afternoon shift as AS, evening shift ES. Likewise, we have this. And then we have the shift allowance. If the person is working in morning shift, you will get allowance of 500, afternoon shift 250, evening shift is 500, night shift is 1000. And then we have this active status, like whether the team members is working with us. Active means the team members is working with us. Notice period means the team member still working with us. However, the team members have resigned and serving the notice period. Absconding is like a team members already left the organization. Sorry, absconding means like the team members absconded from the organization. Like for example, March month, if I take, the team member was working for 15 days, and from 16th day, no communication, and the team members is absconding. And exit means like the team members was on notice paid, and after serving notice paid, the team members left. So this the details we have. So this is a total input file which we should have, and we should not any changes you want to make, you can make the changes here so that it will reflect in the drop down. And we cannot delete this sheet because this sheet will have the there is a dependency on this sheet because the inputs are coming from this file. Now we have the input file, so let's prepare the detailed file. I will prepare the detail. I will create one more sheet and rename it as detail. And let me move this file here. So I start with serial number, same format, same cell I will use. I will start with the B5. So B5, let me write it as serial number. And if you notice, I have taken 5 and 6 as one cell. So in that case, I will take serial number 5 and 6. Let me have this, show tabs and comments, and make it merge, and then also center. I have the serial number here, and then now let's have the serial number. For that, I have used the formula. I will tell you why I should use this. For example, now just imagine if I use like 1 and then I just add 1 plus 1, and if I extend this formula, so in this case, I have taken 24 members team. The same way I will take it 24 members, but anyway, you can extend how much ever you want. So if I use this formula, and in case if I delete somewhere in between, you get the error message. To avoid this, what I've done is I use a formula. Let me delete this, or let me keep it so that I can extend the formula. Is equal to, I use function called row, then I use minus and again row function, and then I need to select the current cell. Current cell is B5, B5, sorry, B5, and then I lock this cell by pressing F4 since I need to extend this formula, close bracket, and then plus 1. Press enter. Sorry, it should be it should be B7. Instead of B5, I should take it as B7 because current row, current cell is B7. Press enter. Now I extend this formula. Now what happens is if you use this formula, let's take an example. If I delete like these two rows, okay, because the team member left the organization or absconded, whatever. If I delete these two by pressing Control minus, you can see the serial number is updated automatically. Now we have the serial number. Let me press Control Z so that we have 24 members here. Now we have the serial number. Let's go back to the same one. And now we have the employee name, team member status. I will copy this and paste it here. Okay, let me remove the formatting so that it is easy for us to follow. Okay, so we have this detail. Okay, and I have kept only these three or these four, but if you want to add few more, for example, after employee name, if you want to have employee ID, you just add it as employee ID. And then if you want to have something called after team, if you want to add supervisor, you can also add supervisor after team. Again, I just take these two, merge and center, update as supervisor. So now you have this data. So go back to the tracker here. So this is what I have, but here I have added supervisor as well as employee. But just I'm telling you that you can add any additional columns in between. But again, I will delete these two things to keep it same as per the original tracker. Then we have the status, yeah. And now we can see here we have the month and year. Let me copy this or let me type it directly on the C2. I have month, and D2 I have year. And if you see here in this month, I have the drop down. Again, for the year, I have the drop down, and again in the status, I have the drop down. So now let's see how it is created. For this, I go to this month cell, and here I go to data validation. This is what data validation. Just click on this, and here I select list. Okay, oh sorry, before this, what we need to do is first we need to name it as, for example, here is a month. You select the entire column or entire data. So you have 12. So you need to rename this. Okay, or you can name this as month, month, press enter. So now next time when if you go here, you can see this, you have this month available, and if I select this, entire month is selected. Now come to this detail file. Here I go to data validation, and I select list is equal to, then I type month, press enter. Now you can see in this drop down you can select the month. So let's select the first. You can select entire thing, like let me select the first. Okay, and now it is showing as only one instead of 01. So I also make the format change here. So just right click, go to format cell and custom. Here I make it as 00, press enter. Now you can see it is coming as 01. Yeah, so if I select this, it will be 05. So let me go back to 01. And then same way, I also make it for year. Go to input file, select this entire data and name it as year, press enter. Again, if I select in this drop down year, this whatever the data we selected, sorry, if I select here, whatever the data we selected, it will be selected. So go to the detail sheet. Here again, data validation, list is equal to year, press enter. Now you get this year. So from 2023 to 2034. Again, if you come back to the data input and if you make the changes, for example, you want from 2020, yeah, and then let me extend. You have the data from 2020 to 2034. Whatever the changes you want, you can make it here. The same thing will reflect here. So if I go to year, you can see from 2020 until 2031 you have. So let me go back and make it as 2023, and you have the data here. So now we have this month year. So next what we have in this is the date and the which day of the day. So let's create the date here. For this, what I do is I use simple formula, or formula means like a ampersand symbol. I press is equal to. So month always start with 01, and then I want like this 01 and 01 minus, sorry, I dash 2023. This is what I want. For this is equal to 01, and then I need to add ampersand and double quote, hyphen, double quote, and then again I use ampersand. Then I need to add this, then again ampersand, then I use double quote, hyphen, double quote, and then I use ampersand, and then I select the year and press enter. Now in this drop down, if I select 2023, now you can see the date. Likewise, if I do it like a 4 and then 2026, you can see the dates changes accordingly. So let me go back to 01, 2023. Now since we already have the date, so let me add +1 for this. Let me select this +1, and now the format is in different. So what I do is right click, format cell, go to custom. I want, if you go to the next sheet, sorry, I'm unable to go to the next sheet. So what I do is DD, sorry, DD, then MMM. So this will give the date and the month. Press OK. Now you see the format has changed. Then I just copy this and paste until I get 31st. Let me do it. Now I see I have until 31st. So then what I do is I select this entire column and just double click on this so that the width will be automatically adjusted. Now you see the width is automatically adjusted. Now we need to have the day. For this, I use a simple text function is equal to text, okay, and the value I need to select is the date, comma, and then double quote. I want DDD, which represent the day, close bracket, press enter. Now you see the first Jan 23 was Sunday. I just copy this and extend this formula until the last date. Press enter. Now you see whatever we have this weekdays. Now I need to have this name, team member status. So you can update according to your requirement. I just copy paste this. Okay, let me extend this. Okay, so likewise in the status also you have the drop down the same way how we did for the month and year. The same way we have the input here, active, not notice paid, absconding, exit, and the same thing you can see you have the data here. So you can prepare on the same way. I will skip this. Now you can see in this tracker wherever you have Sunday or weekend like Saturday, Sunday, you can see the entire column is highlighted in color. So to do this, what I do is I first select the entire column and then a home, conditional formatting, new rule, and use a formula to determine which cell to format. Here I write a formula is equal to if this cell F5 is equal to Sunday SUN, then the format should be go to fill, I take this, click OK. And also I also need to extend this formula. So what I do is I remove this dollar sign before F, click OK. Now you see it's already highlighted. Now I just copy this and go to the entire data, press enter, and now you can see wherever you have Sunday it is highlighted in color. So for example, now if I make the changes here, now you see again here is Sunday, automatically this entire row or entire column is highlighted. So let me format it, make it auto fit so that you can see the date also clearly. Yes, yeah. Now again I'll move back to the 01. Yes. Now Sunday is done. Similarly, even for Saturday, I want the same formatting. So again, I select this entire column, go to formatting, conditional formatting, new rule. Same formula I will use determine, and then formula is equal to, I select the same cell. This time I give it as SAT for Saturday. Again, I remove this CF, dollar sign before F, format, and the same color, click OK, OK, and I just copy this and extend this formatting until 31st Jan. Now you see wherever you have Saturday, Sunday, this entire column is highlighted in different color. So let me make the changes here. Instead of 01, if I make it a 02, now see entire column is in different color. So the next thing what we need to do is we need to have the drop down to update for each day. So for example, if I go to the tracker, you have this drop down with cues like whether it's a morning shift, afternoon shift, evening shift, night shift, present, unplanned leave, like similar to this. And if I go to input file, you have all the details, whether it's a morning shift is written as MS, afternoon shift is AS, evening shift is ES, and night shift. And here is the details about the shift timings, So for example, morning shift is morning 6 to 3, then afternoon is 12 to 9, then we have 5 to 2 a.m. and here it is 9. 9 means I should have written as 21 here. Let me write as 21 to morning 6. This is how it is written as MS for morning shift. Likewise, we have until exit. E exit means EX. And you also have the shift allowance here. Uh, if it is morning shift, you get a shift allowance of 500, afternoon shift is 250, and evening shift is 500, and night shift is 1000. Now let's have this drop down here. Uh, Now for this, I select any of the cell and then go to data validation. Here I select the list. If you remember for month, year, what we did was we selected the data and we named that and the same reference number we are given. Now instead of doing that, we also have another way. So what I do is I click on this and go to input file and I just select this. Let's add one more so that you can add or two more so that you can add anything if you want further and just click on this and click OK. Now you can get the same drop down here. Yeah. So let me extend this until the last row, press enter, and then same thing what I do is I copy this and go until the last row, press enter. So this will allow you to get the details wherever the cells are if you just copy paste the formula. Yeah. Now coming back, let me move to 01 here. So now you have the drop down which you can select. So for example, for employee 1, this is Sunday, so we update as weekend. Likewise for Saturday, Sunday, we update as weekend. But again, in case if team members are working on weekend for whatever the reason, you can make the changes as per your requirement. And then Monday, I have the details here: morning shift, afternoon shift, evening shift, night shift, and then we have planned leave. PL means UL means unplanned leave, HL means holiday, week weekend, and then you have absent, you have exit. So what I also captured is absent. For example, absconding, sorry, absconding. For example, like in January month for 15 days, one of the employee was working with us, and after 16th, the employee is not turning to office. It means that the employee is absconded. So and then we also have exit where the employee was working with us for 10 days and 11th day from then he is not anymore with us. So these details you can update. So what I do is I go to the same file, detail file here. I just copy this entire data and paste it here. Now we have the data here. Now the next thing is like we need to do the formatting. So formatting means like if you see here, the lines are different, the colors are different. So let's see how to do it. What I do is first I select the entire data. For this, I select here Shift Control right arrow will select until last, and then Shift Control down arrow will select. Sorry, Shift Control down arrow will select the entire table. Sorry, we have yeah one more cell. Okay, so we have until here. So first, what I need to do is I go to Home, and here in this drop down, I have this line color. Yeah, by default Excel will always have this black, sorry, by default Excel will always have this black color, but here I selected the purple. And then what I need to do is once I select that, I select the entire table, go to this, and again the line style, by default Excel will always have this line. I need to select this. So now we have this. So then what I do is I just select all borders. Now all borders will be selected with the dot dot with the purple color. Now this is done. Now let's have the heading. Heading, let's bold it. So select entire thing and then go to this again fill. I select the purple and the font color I make it as white, and then just Control B to make it bold. So this is done. And then again I select the entire table and I just make it as thick outside border to have this purple finishing. Okay, so I think we missed to copy paste the data for 24th row. So I will just copy this. In fact, from here, yes. So we have the data here. Okay, so the next step is to create the summary sheet similar to this. So I just right click, uh, insert, I select the worksheet, click OK, and then I rename this with this name, summary. Here is what. And then I update this serial number, the data. I go to C6. I go to C6 here. I just take this heading and paste it here. Then for serial number, what I do is instead of typing everything, I just give the reference for the previous data. So is equal to, I go to detail sheet, I just select the serial number 1, press enter, and then I will extend this formula until data wherever we have 24. So let me zoom out a little bit, make it 80 so it can be visible for the entire sheet. So I also show only tab is required. Okay. Now similarly for the employee name, same way I do it. And for also now instead of going to reference, I just copy paste the formula here and just copy this, paste it here. Now whatever the data you update here, the same thing will reflect here. Now again the morning shift details also I need to update. So here we have a challenge since we have written only the shortcut here as WS, but here we have written as full abbreviation like morning shift. So what I will do is there is one sheet, sorry, if I go to summary here, there is one sheet, one row which is hidden. I will unhide that, unhide, and I have given the shortcuts for all this. So similarly, even for this, let's do that. For that, I go to input file. I select this entire data, shift control down arrow, copy, control C, go to summary file, and alt ESV for the space special. And now I need to transpose the data because it is it was in vertical and now I need to make it in the horizontal. So transpose, click OK. Now this is how it comes. Now let's get this data like each team members, which shift they were working, whether they were working, planned leave, unplanned leave from the detailed sheet. For this, I go here, I use the count if formula is equal to count if, and then my range will be the employee one complete data starting from Jan 1st 23 until 31st Jan, comma, and then my criteria will be whatever we have here, press enter. Now you also need to lock few cells here so that I can extend this formula. For example, G5 is what I have taken as criteria. So I need to extend, if I extend the formula, instead of G5, it has to move to H5. So in this case, I only lock this 5 because if I copy paste and if I copy and paste below for the employee 2, 3, but still it has to be locked at the row number 5, and that is why I'm locking only the row number 5, but not G. So press enter, and now I extend this formula. If you see here, let me press F2 here. Now instead of so here it is MS and then it is now AS. Likewise, if you see, it is ES. Now I copied this, but one more problem I have here is I also need to lock this detail file where we have data from F7 to A7, AJ7. The reason is now it starts from F7 to AJ, and if I go to the next one, it's starting from G7 to AK7. So for this, I also lock uh, F7, only F, and also AJ. Press enter. Now I can extend this formula. Now if you see, it remains F7 to AJ7. Now I just copy this entire formula and extend until the last one. I select here, go up, press enter. Now we have data from all the for all the employees. So once this is done, let's go to the summary file. Then we have the shift allowance. So let me calculate the shift allowance. Let me expand this first. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Now we have the shift allowance calculation. Let me copy this next three and paste it here. To calculate shift allowance, let me expand this also too. Okay. To calculate shift allowance, I have the input from I have the data in the input file. If a person working morning shift, this is the allowance. Likewise, we have until night shift. So is equal to what I do is open bracket and then I select the morning shift here. Morning shift data is here multiplied by, and then I go to input file. Morning shift data is 500, close bracket, and then plus, and I just copy the same formula here, paste it, paste it, and now let's make the necessary changes. So instead of G7, now it will be GH7, then it will be I7, and it will be J7. So you can see here, so G7 is here, and then H7, evening shift is I7 and J7. And also for the amount I have taken as G1, right? So now G2, G3, G4. Again, that changes I need to make in the formula. G1, G2, G3, and G4. And now I just copy and paste the exchange this formula. Looks like something wrong. Let's see where is the issue. Ah, no, here it is fine. Okay, I think we also need to lock uh, these inputs because this should remain same. So I press F4 on my keyboard to lock this data. Now I will extend this formula. Now we have the data. Now shift allowance is done. Then let's calculate the resource availability percentage. For this, what I do is sum. First, I need to select what is like number of team members worked. For this, morning shift, afternoon shift, evening shift, and the night shift is what I select. Divided by, so let's close bracket, divided by again sum morning shift, afternoon shift, evening shift, night shift, planned leave, unplanned leave. Because holiday anyway, no one will work, weekend no one will work, absconding exit is there, so these four we can ignore. close bracket, press center, you get this percentage, and go to home. Here just click on this percentage, and also let's have decimal. Here is how you can calculate the resource availability percentage. Let me exchange this formula. I can copy paste, or I just click on this right, the square box what we have at right bottom. Let me double click, you have the percentage. And next one is unplanned leave. It's a very important, because if you have too much of unplanned leave, it will directly impact our operation. So for unplanned leave, uh, I just need to select this whatever we have unplanned leave, divided by sum. I just select morning, afternoon, evening, night shift, and then planned, unplanned leave, close bracket, press enter, and let me extend this formula. So here's the percentage. So let's go to home, make these changes, increase this. You have the unplanned leave percentage. Okay. Now, next important thing is I want to highlight in unplanned leave column, if anyone who takes more than 1 day in a month, I want to highlight so that we can look on to details like each month which employee is going on unplanned leave. Because as I told, unplanned leave is very important, which will impact our day-to-day operation. For this, what I do is I select the entire column, go to home, conditional formatting, and new rule, and format only cell that contains specific cell value. Here in between, wherever I have greater than or equal to 2, so then go to format, and here I don't want to have this fill completely, but only the font I want to make it as red. Select this, click OK, click OK. And now you see, wherever you have the team member which has more than 1 working day as an unplanned leave, the same will be highlighted. So let's make it bold. So you can see here it is bold, and you can see which employee. Example, in this case, employee 8 has gone for unplanned leave, that is more than 1 day in a month. Now this is done. Let's go back to the attendance tracker. So this is what you have. Then little bit of formatting is required. So again, it's the same thing. I select the complete data, home, here all border, and let me make it between, and here let me click on this, and then I go here and thick border outside, and then I select only this, home, thick border, and then what I do is from B, wherever I want the data, so from B2 until here, I just take it until exit, home, and just make it merge and center. I just copy paste this entire data here, paste it here. Sorry, I need to make it until here, paste it here. It is also taking here. Okay, so I need to hide this, which is not required anymore. Let's hide this data, and then here let's go here, copy this entire data heading, go here, paste it here, and then make it purple, and then increase the font size. So to have the complete one, to make it little bigger, so what I did is after this resource I just press enter, so then you can format it accordingly. Just make it little bigger so that you can increase the font size. Let's select 2 3 4, just increase, is what you have. And then I also want to have this month end here. For this I just copy paste this month end, and then I also give the reference to this is equal to sorry, is equal to, is the month. Likewise for year is equal to year. So now what happens is whatever the data you change it here in detail sheet, for example, if you're doing for 02 or 03, now you see you have 03. Now this is done. Now you select this, make it home, thick border again, and then just make a formatting like this. Just reduce this. I just make it in yellow color for all this. Home, home, home. And then wherever we have blank, let's make it purple. Sorry, I think I selected the wrong. Let's make it purple. Home, purple, and then these two purple. Yeah. So I hope I have covered pretty much everything. So this is how you prepare the complete monthly attendance tracker. And I hope this video is useful. And if you like this video, please click on like button and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.